Also lean into foods that are rich in cruciferous value. Those cruciferous vegetables like cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli that are cancer fighting, and full of fiber and great benefits as well, in their disease fighting power. So phytonutrient rich foods should be on your everyday menu multiple times a day. Try the microgreens. They're kind of chefy too. When you add them to your food, it just kind of looks gourmet. Looks like you've gone to a fine dining restaurant when you can find them pretty plentifully at most stores near you. So that's number 3. Number 4 are berries. Berries are antioxidant rich foods, and that's our next category. You get an antioxidant up. I mean, when we think of immunity boosting foods, we think immediately of vitamin C, right? Vitamin C being one antioxidant. But berries are a great way to not only get that in a potent and readily available form that is easy for our bodies to assimilate and digest. Berries are also really high in fiber and other phytochemicals, those naturally occurring nutrients that help to protect our cells from damage. Healthy cells are the key to healthy lives and anti-aging and a healthy immune system. So all of these foods do contribute to that, but antioxidant-rich foods are an important way to get that in a concentrated form. Berries are also really good for your heart. You know, they can help to prevent high blood pressure, and they can help to manage diabetes because they're low GI, glycemic index, which means they won't spike your blood sugar. I spend a lot of time talking about consistent blood sugar in my book, y'all. It's so important. I can't stress this enough because it puts stress on your body to manage a drop and a spike in blood sugar all the time. Your body's going into overtime just to regulate itself. And it doesn't need to be that way. You want to try and keep your blood sugar as consistent as possible so that your body doesn't have to work as hard. So feast on blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, goji berries, and acai berries. When you find them, you can't eat acai berries on their own. They're too bitter, but when they are processed, you can have them in an acai smoothie or a bowl. Just try and pick the kind that don't have sugar added because they can have a lot of sugar added to them. And that kind of defeats the purpose. Other antioxidant-rich foods, too, include tomatoes, artichokes, dark chocolate, yes, thank you, as long as it's 70% or more unsweetened cacao, beans, and leafy greens like kale, cabbage, and spinach. You see the theme here, by the way. A lot of these foods cross over into other categories. So antioxidant-rich foods are number 4 on our list, and berries are a great way to get them. Number 5 is garlic and onions, and these are prebiotic, not probiotic, but prebiotic rich foods, and let me explain. So not only are garlic and onions a delicious base to almost every culture's indigenous cuisine, I think pretty much everything I know starts with garlic and onions for the most part. It's the basis of our modern day antibiotic system because of their virus fighting power. And prebiotics are what we need to get probiotics to do their good work. So you can kind of think of them as the fertilizer for a healthy gut situation. And onions, as well as garlic, have a whole array of health benefits. Onions regulate blood levels of bad cholesterol and good cholesterol. And onions are best if you eat them in their raw state. So don't be scared. I know there might be people around you that are like, please don't eat raw onions around me. But here's what you can do to kind of quell the stink factor is let them soak in raw apple cider vinegar for just like half an hour. You can add you can do raw apple cider vinegar. You can do a little rice wine vinegar, and then maybe even tone it down a little bit more with maybe some coconut amino acids. And that will help take the bite out of your raw onions, but still keep the integrity of them not being adulterated by cooking. So that is a great way to just not keep your loved ones away. And onions, like garlic, help to decrease the risk of potential developing blood clots. So, eating onions and garlic helps to fight against virus and bacteria. They help to prevent and heal infections on their own. I'm also a huge fan of fermented black garlic. If you've ever watched me cook, or you've got my book and you've seen some of my recipes, you'll see fermented black garlic show up quite a bit because it is more mild, just like that quick little pickling of the onions. Fermented black garlic is easy to eat. You can eat it right out of the peel. It's creamy, it's almost caramel-like, and that flavor lends itself beautifully to anything you would use regular garlic in, with more of a toned down mellow flavor. So that's my foodie tip for getting those into your everyday. Prebiotic rich foods, especially garlic and onions, are number 5, and they're so readily available. Number 6 is beans. Beans are zinc-rich foods, and as the little childhood song goes, beans, beans, the magical fruit. Yes, they are a fruit. Fruit, sure. Well, they're legumes, and they have an important place in your fit lifestyle. I think beans and grains get a really bad rap, but the truth is beans are an excellent source of fiber, protein, B vitamins, and zinc, which can help ward away colds and viral infection. And beans are one of those classifications of plants that really set them apart from other fruits and seeds in that they do offer high nutrient content, especially protein. Other benefits are that they can also decrease blood sugar levels. So again, talking about that sustaining a healthy blood sugar, beans can help with that and give you that pure plant-based protein that you need, especially if you're observing any sort of modified diet where you are excluding animal proteins. And I will tell you something. I used to be kind of anti-soy, but I'm becoming more of a fan, especially soy in its whole form, non-GMO soy that's not genetically modified, because that is not good when it comes to soy. They use a lot of pesticides when it is genetically modified, and I don't like that. And buyer beware, by the way. There are a lot of soy burgers perpetrating health food right now, and they're just made from genetically modified soy. I would steer as clear as possible if I were you. But whole soy definitely has a place in your diet, especially if you're, let's just air quote, transitional in your hormonal stage, aka menopausal. Having, edamame and tempeh can be powerful add-ons into your regular eating habit. They definitely have a place in your diet. And stocking up on a variety of pre-cooked canned beans is a great way to boost up a strong pantry. You can add them to salads, to soups. You can make veggie burgers out of them. I've got a great recipe for stuffed peppers that I use black beans in. And even desserts, you can put black beans into brownies. Those are the bomb, you guys. That works really, really well. You won't even believe there's black beans in those brownies. You can also get zinc from wild rice, sunflower seeds, and nutritional yeast. So lots of plant-based ways to get them in. And you can also get them from animal proteins too. Oysters, lamb, wild, caught game, bison. They're all good sources of zinc as well. So beans, the zinc-rich food. Get them into your eating habits. Number 7, wild-caught seafood, fatty seafood like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. This is the classification of omega-3 rich foods. And we've all heard about the benefits of fatty fish. But how exactly does the class of omega-3s improve immune function, you're wondering? Well, through the effects of the omega-3 rich foods on cell membranes, again, let's go back to healthy cells, especially your white blood cells that help to fight infection. Every cell in the body wants homeostasis. That is a constant internal environment. That consistency, like with your blood sugar, is really important to your body. So a healthy cell membrane, that wall between the internal cell and the outside, is key. Without that membrane, cells lose their ability to hold water, that hydration that we need so much, and our bodies are more than 70% water. So holding on to those vital nutrients allows the cells to communicate to each other and to fight if they need to. Cell membranes are mostly composed of fatty acids. So that's why getting good fats into your diet is so critical. And I would say, don't be afraid of canned seafood. Sometimes you can't find the fresh stuff or it's price prohibitive. You can, again, stock up on your pantry, and everybody's looking for ways to bolster their pantry right now because, sometimes you can't find fresh things in the case. You can then get your pantry stocked up, and it's available year round, and it's always wild caught when it's canned. I had this great recipe for seafood stuffed avocados in my book. They're one of my daughter's favorite things. I think you might really like it. And last but not least, number 8, the category of capsaicin-rich foods or spicy foods that comes from spicy peppers, horseradish, and wasabi. Now, let's talk about the burn. Some of the people listening to this are saying, the hotter, the better. And I feel you. I love the heat too. But for those of you who are like, just looking at a pepper makes me want to cry, I feel your pain because we have family members on both sides of that fence. But here's why you want to enjoy the burn that you can stomach. That burn that runs through your nose and makes you want to cry is the natural super immune booster called capsaicin. Capsaicin is an active ingredient that you find in those spicy foods, and it's been widely studied for its pain relieving effects. You'll see some rubs and creams with that heat in it. That's what it does for alleviating pain. It's also good for cardiovascular benefits, and it can even help to prevent ulcers, which I think is interesting because sometimes you're like, I just can't really stomach the heat, but it can actually help to prevent ulcers as long as it doesn't give you, a stomach ache that you never want to try them again. So start slow is what I'm saying. Capsaicin can also effectively open and drain congested nasal passages and helps to boost the immune system and is a great natural cold and flu remedy. I know that, a lot of people like a cayenne tea, when they're starting to feel a little bit sick. But this is something that you can add to your everyday. I have a great drink. I call it my Real Vitality Tonic. And it's got ginger and cinnamon. These are all like heating up herbs. And you could put a little dash of cayenne in there too if you wanted. And get your immune system going, get that burn going. And it's also great for your metabolism. Yes, it can help you burn faster just by heating up your internal system. So, the benefits are immense. And one other benefit is that cayenne peppers are also a great source of vitamin A. And so vitamin A being a carotenoid is something that you can benefit from. Those beta carotenes are great. And you find those in carrots and tomatoes as well. So start slowly, build your tolerance. I have a Carolina Reaper plant in my backyard right now. Those are apparently the spiciest, the hottest peppers known to man, the highest on the Scoville chart that you can find. And I got the plant for my son because he's always bragging about how he can take the heat. We'll see what happens. But stock your spice cabinet. It can help to take you places, both from a culinary perspective and health-wise. And that's it, my friends. Those are the 8 categories that can help you boost your immunity. You can find this in detail on our blog at eatcleaner.com/blog. And please share that with your friends so they know how to boost their own immunity. But the bottom line is we all have a role in our own health. It starts today.